Welcome, everybody, to the JJ and Pug Show, recording from the Highland Communities Podcast Studios on August 26th, 2024. Yes. Another cover here. Solid. Another cover by Forever the Sickest Kids.
Dude, the names. I'll never just...
I know, dude.
They just come up with some solid names.
That one that actually gets me. I think it's kind of funny that they would call themselves Forever the Sickest Kids. Because it's like, if there's anything and like encapsulates 2010 better than calling somebody the sickest guy.
Dude, we're so sick.
He's so sick.
That guy was sick.
Yeah. There we go. This drop, I think, is way better than the original because it's like real music.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I know we keep talking about we're going to be putting this up on YouTube. You're going to be able to watch it. Guys, I promise you I am trying. In fact, I even uploaded a video.
Yeah?
And I was like, hey, check it out. Only for JJ to watch it back. Dude, there's no audio.
There's nothing. And it was so like, it was clear. It was all good. And you're like, and then I started thinking it was my phone. I'm like, maybe it's my phone. I started switching all the different stuff around. I'm like, nope, it's not me.
I thought it was you too. I'm like, there's no way. So I went back onto the tablet. I checked my phone. I checked it with my laptop. I'm like... So then I had to pull it down.
Through your laptop.
Yeah. I swear. I know I'm making it more difficult than it needs to be. Yeah. I know I am. But
we're going to figure it out.
Rest
assured, we will figure it out, and then we will be Joe Rogan before you know it.
Before you know it, dude. It is one of those things that's kind of intimidating. We think if you ever wanted to actually make something of this, if you and I were doing this with the actual goal of becoming Joe Rogan, instead of, hey, you know what? We're doing this for fun. We're having fun. We're going to try and grow it. We don't want to be. We don't want it to what's the word I'm looking for? Be our entire life.
No,
right?
no.
We don't
just
want
can't.
That. We can't. There's no way we can do that.
I mean, if somebody came along and said, hey, we're going to pay you $10 million so you guys can set up your show because we really like you. And my life is going to change.
Exactly. Yes. That would be the equivalent of hitting
I'm going to hit the brakes on what I'm doing and be like, okay, this just took priority,
Yeah.
But
the fact that we're just doing this because, one, we enjoy it. And two, it's like, this is slowly growing. It's fun. If we had to do it for our lives, I wouldn't sleep at night.
Well, and I think if that was the case, though, I think, one, we would spend more time. We spend time on it right now, but it's only when we're free.
Yeah.
It's like anything else you do with, when you find out what you want to start your own business, you got to give up what you're doing and have that be your only thing.
That's
right?
your only thing, yep.
Because if not, you're only going to be half in, maybe a quarter in, because you've got this other stuff going on. Dude, I'm telling you, I have dove down the rabbit hole. I really want to do a food truck.
Oh, okay? Yeah?
And I don't know why. I just think it would be something where I enjoy cooking. I enjoy, probably because of the situation. I watch a ton of videos, right?
Yes.
But, I just feel like I have a whole idea, and I'll run it by you one day after off air because I don't want to get it out there yet. But
you don't want to give it away.
No, but I have this solid idea, I think, and it's simple. There's something about, you don't need a lot. Too many people have menu overload. They get all this crap, right?
Yeah.
It's look, this is what I want to specialize in with a few options of this kind of stuff. But that's it. And, Jana's like, hey, well, why don't you do a dessert? I'm like, no, stop. See, you've already gone down the road. I don't want to do all that. If you don't, hey, if you're a vegetarian, I'm sorry.
You're not coming to our
truck. If you're gluten-free,
you're not coming to my
I'm
truck.
not the guy. And it's not that I don't want your business. It's look, I'm not catering to the 4% of the population.
Yep.
I'm going to the 96%
yes.
that are fine with it. And that's not to knock anybody that has a gluten allergy. I work with somebody who has it, and it's unfortunate.
It's real.
It sucks. I can't even imagine. In fact, I would just suck it up. If they said, hey, you can't have pizza dough anymore, I'd be like, that's cool. I'm going to have the runs all the time because I am not giving it up. I don't care, but that's just me. I'm very fortunate where I don't have any food allergies, so I feel for all those people that do, but I'm not going to cater. Maybe if I got my own, if I went from a food truck to a business establishment where I had, maybe I'd have one option of what I want to do, right? But I would not make it a thing. I don't care how trendy it is. It's just not a thing for me. But I tell you that, but again, I've looked at it. I've looked at food truck prices. I've looked at all this stuff, options of buying somebody else's food truck or just buying my own custom made and the prices. But again, I'm not even a quarter in because I have a career.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to stop what I'm doing right now.
What did I just kick?
For that. Oh, not me. Oh. So
we're good. I kicked something and I was very concerned there for a second.
So I'm not going to just give up what I got right now for that. And that's the difference, right? If we were to actually sit here and be, hey, this is how we're going to make money because we got nothing anymore. We have to make, that would be different. I think things would change, right?
And that was the thing where I was saying, imagine how intimidating it would be because I don't know if you guys know this. There's a lot of options out there for podcasts to listen to.
Dude,
there's a lot. And so like if you were, I listened to Bill Simmons and listened to a few of the different podcasts they have on the Ringer network is what his podcast network's called. And one of the things that Bill Simmons was saying is that basically like to build a podcast, you have to try and break into the population's rotation of 5. The vast population out there that listen to podcasts, they have a rotation about 5 podcasts they go through, and that's it.
Yeah.
And breaking into that 5 is super hard. But once you've done it,
unseat somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to push one out.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like rocket science that everybody's trying to do something like this because it's fun.
No, it is fun to sit across, right? And then some of the issues I think we would run into, and it's unfortunate, is that we don't dive into certain things because of politics is one, but more like because what sells? Sex sells, right? We don't talk about that. We're not going down that road, but those are the ones where you get into all these like people are just want to listen to this dirty, nasty crap, and I'm not interested in talking about that. Like, I mean, under the right circumstances, sure, it's fun, but that's not a podcast idea for me to go down a rabbit hole of crap like that. Like I'm not,
and not just that, but one of the things you and I talked about when we first decided this is we didn't want to like box ourselves into saying we're only talking about this because I know we would get bored with that.
Oh, we would get bored with that. We can't stay on track with what we have written down.
No, and I know that's another thing. I know that when it comes to doing a podcast is you do have to box in. You have to say, all right, this is what this show's about. And if you want to actually grow it, because then you're getting the people that are looking for that specific thing. I couldn't do that.
No. Well, you say that, but then you talk about like Joe Rogan. He doesn't have a box in. He has people from all over the place on his show, and that's probably maybe that's his box in is he's a guest show guy now, right?
I think that there are certain guys that don't fit that criteria. Joe Rogan's one. Yeah. Bill Simmons is one. People that started podcasting long before anybody could start a podcast.
In their basement in 2010.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The guys that like created the whole concept of having a podcast, those guys aren't boxed in because they can. They've built an audience like Joe Rogan where he can be like, hey, you know what? I want to talk to somebody interesting. Book me some interesting people.
Dude, Theo Von sat down with Donald Trump.
Yeah. Theo Von's a great example of a guy that he just literally talks to anybody.
Yeah, and he's pretty down to earth, straightforward dude. Like
you can imagine how easy it'd be to talk to that guy.
Yeah, for
about anything.
Yeah, they talked, and he was, and Trump, like him or hate him, it doesn't matter at this point. It wasn't about that. It was just the fact that you got a guy who's arguably running for the most powerful position in the world, right? And he's sitting down with a guy named Theo Von. He's a comedian.
Talking to a bro with a mullet.
Yeah, and they're just having a bro conversation. They're talking about Trump's kids and how his kids are really good at some sports, or like what the differences are between, my 2 kids love to hunt and because they're just little stuff. And he's just having a grown up conversation with a guy who is running for the most powerful position in the world. And he's just down to earth with Theo Von, just chilling.
Just talking about crap.
Yeah, just talking about whatever.
Guys like, today I was listening to Bill Simmons' podcast, and he was just talking to Adam Sandler and Rob Schneider and one of the directors of Adam Sandler's new movie. Because he can do that.
Happy Gilmore 2?
No.
Did you see that's coming out?
I did. In fact, did you see it? Travis Kelce's in it.
Yes, they gave him a special cameo in it because he requested it.
Dude, I bet that movie is going to be chock full of cameos. It's going to have so many.
Did you see the line of people for the extras?
For the extras trying to line up? Dude, I would if I was there, I would line up for that.
I want to line up on the 18th hole at the end of the movie and just be in this there.
And watch the giant stand up there with a sign.
Do the extras get paid?
They get paid very little.
Like maybe like $500 or something.
I don't even know if it's that much. It's very much like a, hey, thank you for your time type thing.
Free food.
Yeah, you get to be in the movie. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Craft services, come get a sandwich type thing. I don't think it's very much.
Sounds good.
A sandwich does sound nice.
I haven't had a sandwich in a minute.
Dude, so I had strong plans today to not eat anything other than.
Listen.
But let me tell you how my plans went. So one of the great things I love about my company is whenever somebody has a birthday or a birthday that week, the lady that handles all of our customer service, she makes this delicious breakfast casserole, right? Cooked in a cast iron skillet.
Can you break it down ingredient for ingredient? Just kidding.
Eggs.
Oh, you had me there.
Sliced potatoes.
I love potatoes,
dude. Bro. Sliced potatoes. She puts some spinach in there, some bell peppers, some onions, and then she makes her own picante sauce that you drizzle on top with some cheese. Oh,
no meat.
No, yeah, there's sausage and bacon in it. Sorry, I missed that.
Missed the most important part here.
I said eggs.
Eggs, dude.
There's a lot of eggs. It's a lot of
and
eggs.
Potatoes. You said, now you got them all.
It's freaking great.
It's a party in your mouth.
Oh, dude, it is great. So anyway, I know that's coming. So yeah, bro, guess what? Had that this morning. And my neighbor, God bless her soul, brought us over some loaves of sourdough.
Did you tell her?
Oh, I told her. I told her. I said, hey, listen, first week in October, this is the order. Just be prepared. First week in October,
just drop
3 of these.
Yep.
Okay.
And load it full of jalapenos and cheddar.
Dude.
Oh.
Anyway, so I had a slice of that because, dude, it's at the house. I'm not going to let it go bad. Got to eat this.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, that's great. So then after my workout this afternoon, Shley comes in and says, hey, I made some quesadillas and refried beans. Her refried beans is really good. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going to have that. I'm just going to have some of the ground beef and veggies. And then I go in there and I see her pouring out the the refried beans into her container. I'm like, no, just take a taste of that. Took a little piece of the quesadilla. Bro, that's all I had. It's just refried beans and quesadilla because those refried beans are so good.
I'll tell you, I had a really bad week last week in the sense of just mentally. I'm drained. I'm tired. The hunger's getting to me. I was at a low. I was ready to quit, in a sense, right? I wasn't going to, but that's where my mind was. I was just ready to throw in the towel and be like, bro, I'm just going to go eat a whole pizza and I don't care. And one of the things that I was thinking about was where was I going with this? I just started thinking about food. Son of a gun, I just lost all train of thought, dude.
I was saying how my wife made these refried beans. I was totally not going to eat it, but then I was like, you know what? I'm going to eat this.
I can't remember the low part, bro. I started thinking about refried beans and tortilla chips. I don't know.
So listen to this. My brother-in-law, he and I are talking about the way the Diamondbacks have been playing, which we'll get to later. And he said, hey, so what are you doing this weekend? It's like, well, I'm planning on going to the game. He's like, so Labor Day, you're going to be there? And I was like, yeah, it's a day game. He's like, oh, okay. Then, come over to our house afterwards. And I was like, why? He's like, I'm flying in lobster from Maine.
Oh,
and I was like, I'm going to get a preview. I'm getting myself a preview.
Dude, that trip's going to be legit.
Dude, I am excited.
The more we keep thinking about it, it's getting closer. It's 5 weeks and 5 days away.
So one of the things I'm going to get to right here, hang on 1 second so I can make sure I say this. And I can never remember where I put this. Hang on.
The tradition of Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now you're going to hear about it.
This weekend, Shley had the awesome idea of her and I. She said, hey, you want to just go up to the cabin? Just me and you? It's like, yeah, if we can find someone to watch the kids, let's do it. And her mom, being the absolute angel that she is, says, yeah, I'll watch the kids for the night. You guys go. And we go. And it's awesome, right? And I absolutely love it. I hate mountain passing lanes.
Oh.
They drive me nuts. Okay? So one of the things that kills me, it makes me so angry when you so if you're driving the Sholo from Arizona, or from Arizona, from the valley, there's 2 ways to go. There's Salt River Canyon through Globe, or there's the Rim through Payson. Those are your 2 ways, right? I prefer going the Salt River Canyon route. Mostly,
even though you have to backtrack for where you're going.
Barely. It's literally a 2-minute difference going through Payson or Salt River. It's
not true.
Yeah. I even showed it to Shley. I'm like, listen.
There's no way, bro. I've driven both of those roads. I think it's longer to go through Payson, not to get to your place, but you're telling me you drive through Globe into Sholo and then back down to Clay Springs.
Yeah.
Versus there's no way that's only 2 minutes. There's no way.
Okay,
you're drunk.
Go. So I'm telling you right now. Okay, I put this in the directions from my house right now. Right now, if I were to go through Payson, it's 3 hours and 4 minutes. If I go through Globe, 3 hours and 8 minutes.
Okay, wait. Where does it have you go from here? Here. I want to see, because do you go down Arizona Farms Road to Florence Boulevard and all that?
Yeah, take Florence Junction up to the 60 up to Globe, and then It's almost exactly the same distance,
bro. There's just no way.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is Clay Springs is not as far back as you think.
It's not about that. I know it's not, but it's still I feel like you go to Sholo and then you got to go back 10. It's at least 10 miles, at least.
Oh, that's more than that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's got to be 15 miles.
It's about 15 to 25 minutes.
Pinedale is about 10 miles outside, and then it's a little bit farther than that.
Right next to Pinedale.
Miles. Yeah. So. But it just seems so much farther.
Yeah, it's not. It's like I say, it's not. In fact, I remember Shley was saying, "Are you sure it's not?" I'm like, I promise you. And I've done it many times.
I love going through Payson because the double lane. the whole way.
The 2
up
lanes
to,
the whole
up
way
to the
makes,
rim.
yes, it
is
makes a big
fantastic.
difference. Yes,
but I hate coming home that way.
Yes. Well, okay. So here's my thing: is that is what makes it really great going through Payson, because you do have 2 lane. It's a divided highway the whole way, almost the entire way. It's a divided highway. It's great. But I like going through Salt River Canyon, one, because nobody does. It's a very
dude. Even on a holiday weekend,
it's
always go that way.
Exactly. No one's ever driving that direction. Nope. But I hate people that do this. When a passing lane hits, they're the one that's been causing the pile up. They're the ones that in a 55 are going 49, 48 miles an hour. And now suddenly we've got a space that's either a straight 2 lane where now it's a dotted line, I can get around you, and they slam the gas. Or you get where they finally get to a passing lane where you got 2 lanes to get around them, and they do the same thing. It's like, dude, make up your mind, man.
Well, in a lot of those lanes, especially those on that road, those passing lanes going northbound, they're not very long.
No, they're very short.
Like the ones where you've got the extra lane to get in, like they're like 2 miles. Like you got to go. You can make up some time, but they got to get over. And I feel you.
That's my grievance. People, if you are going to be the slow driver on the freeway, that's fine. I really don't care if you are. Just have some courtesy to recognize the people behind you don't want to be. And they want to go the speed limit, if not a little over. Move over. Let him get by you.
There's a great song by Ludacris that you should just play when you go by.
Move. So I was going to say the rest of it. Dude, I love that song. I honestly wanted, like, if I ever had a Tesla, that right there is my horn. I would program that to be my horn. Move. Yeah, but anyway, that can't stand it. It makes me so freaking angry every single time because it's just a complete lack of understanding, courtesy. There's none of it. That is like the most, like, to me, one of the most self-centered things you can do on the road is like, nope, I'm just going to go and tell this is the speed that everybody has to go. Nobody gets to go by me. I am the king here. I decide the law. Hate it.
I just, that road. I love going through Globe because there's no traffic, but that is the downfall to it is you've got to deal with people being dumb. And then the lanes just aren't long. The passing positions and places aren't long enough. Whether it's 2 lane, give you an extra lane, or it's, passing around. And I hate watching people in front of me that are impatient and they'll shoot a gap for passing. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, why is it really worth the risk? Just did? I'm like, how much farther ahead did you get than us?
Exactly. And especially when you really take into consideration the fact that you're really not saving that much time. You're saving some, but it's not the 30 minutes you think you saved. It's like 3 minutes. Like, I don't know. I'm totally with you on that. When I see people taking risky moves to get those passes, I'm like, dude, just relax.
I'm like, oh, there's a semi coming. I can see it. How are you just going to shoot it?
Yeah. And you're in your little, little 4-banger that's barely making it up this mountain. Like, dude, come on, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember one of the passes we made. I remember telling Shelly, I'm like, the thing I really like, and I'm just to the point now where I really appreciate this in my life, that I own a car that can accelerate and pass. Because for a long part of my life, that was not possible. The only passing I was doing was on a downhill because that was my only chance. And then I was holding everybody up when we hit the uphill because I was like, I can't accelerate. This is all I got.
Yeah, you know what? So we got my daughter, my mom. When my mom passed away, we bought her car. I bought her car for my dad.
Yeah.
And it's a little 4-banger, dude. But it's an EcoBoost, bro. That thing is fast.
Zips.
Like,
it's
zippy,
Escape, right?
Yeah, it's like zippy. That's the best word for it. Like we took it to California, and I'm like, dude, it is crazy the acceleration. This little thing. I'm like, it works. Like,
dude, I totally agree, man.
It's pretty cool how far they've come with even just a little 4-cylinder, EcoBoost like little thing. And it's a go-kart.
Think about our trucks. Those are 6 cylinders.
Yeah,
you never would have thought you'd be able to get the power out of a 6-cylinder that you do now.
No, yeah.
I think about that almost every time because my wife, her car's a 6-cylinder, my truck's a 6-cylinder, and the power, the towing power, the acceleration, everything about it.
Yours is a diesel.
Yeah, I got a 6-cylinder diesel, baby.
Yeah.
It's not ever something I thought I would ever gonna have. We would ever get to a point.
I almost bought one.
You didn't do the diesel. You went with a.
It was just outside of our budget at the time. I was trying to stay at a certain payment, and it was like about $4,000 more, which pushed us over. And it was a budget thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, And looking back, I ended up paying off that car really quick, and I'm like, dang it, I should have just because now I have this paid off truck, and I wish it was a diesel.
Yeah.
But no, I just it was silver too, and just the one that I bought was all rimmed out. It just worked out. But I do wish I would have.
I'll tell you this: I don't think you have much to regret. I like mine a lot, but the total specs on the non-diesel are slightly better The only difference is mine's got better torque and gas mileage, but it doesn't have the total towing capacity as the gas engines.
I'm going to buy one more truck in my life.
Well, we talked about this.
An F-250 soon.
Oh yeah, we've talked about it.
Next couple years, and then I'll never buy another truck.
I know it's funny. I will never tell myself that because I know that's not the case. I will buy a new truck.
If I hit it big, sure. You know what I mean? Like this podcast blows up, yeah, sure. But
once Joe Rogan calls us or Bill Simmons, we're here, man.
Look, I don't need another. I barely drive it as it is. I drive it to the gym and back, or trips. Like I just need a good. I just want to be able to pull a fifth wheel. We talked about this. Pull a fifth wheel. Pull a travel trailer. Pull whatever I need. And be good to go and not have to worry about it. Whatever I want to do, I have no restrictions.
Yep. We talked about it before. I know.
I found a few on Facebook Marketplace.
Don't look on Facebook Marketplace.
But I know, but just even then, they're dropping in price because people have them on there. There's lines crossed out and they're dropping, and you're like, it's because the market's terrible. Like people are trying to get $80,000 for a 2020 truck. You're like, bro,
it's not happening now, dude.
Because you sunk all that dumb money into it, you're not going to get it right now with the unstableness that's going on.
Yeah,
no, is that a word? Sure, we'll just go with it.
Let it slide.
We'll let it slide.
No need to.
With how unstable everything is.
There you go. Unstable. Yeah. Way to catch yourself. I wasn't going to call you out like you tried to do with bilking. I knew what I was saying.
That is still not a word.
All right, we're going to take a quick break right here. Listen to this ad. Thank you for taking a break real quick here in the middle of the episode of JJ and Pug Show you are currently listening to, whichever day that may be. We wanted to say thank you again for taking the time to listen to our show, listen to our antics, listen to our takes, and listen to these sometimes ridiculous opinions we come up with, which are 100% organic and truthful and true to ourselves. Having said all of that, you know what you need to do. You need to share this podcast with your friends. Send it to them. Let them know that you're listening. Let them know what you like about it. And most importantly, reach out to us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok to give us that feedback and let us know the things that you would like for us to talk about. That way we can give you, our fans, the things that you both want and need and improve our show positively each and every single episode. The second thing that you need to do is reach out to us and buy a shirt. Show everyone your support of the JJ and Pug Show by wearing that awesome shirt that we had designed with our amazing logo on there. And that way all your friends will know what the best show to listen to when they got some time to put the headset in and listen to some awesome fun stuff. Again, thank you for everybody for all the support. We're going to get back to the show right about now. All right, back. And I didn't do the dum-dum-dum-dum because I zoomed past it so we didn't have to listen to it. All right, so a couple things. Oh, for a second, I thought that my buddy just sent me a text with the word bilking in it, but it was not.
Oh, that would have been funny.
That would have been crazy. That would have been absolutely crazy. All right, so I got a couple things that I wrote down on here that I wanted to talk about. One, my wife and I just started rewatching the show New Girl with Zooey Deschanel and Jake Johnson and Max Greenfield.
I've never watched the seasons, but I've seen the show.
Oh, it's funny. It's a very funny show, right? And it is 100% like a show that you look at and say, yeah, this definitely was started in 2010 or 11 or something like that. It fits so many of those things that was happening at that time. And one of the things about shows like that as much as I like it, I find it very funny, that I also think is super stupid and completely unrealistic, is when they try to make a girl like Zooey Deschanel, like, you're supposed to believe that she couldn't get any guy she wants. It's like, no, she's going to get any guy she wants. She is super cute. She's super funny. I don't care what you say. This show is not doing a good enough job of making me think that she's a loser. Won't believe it. Can't believe it.
I get what you're saying.
So watching that made me think, how many times have you seen a show like that where they try to make this girl who is like, no, she's a freaking, I'm not going to say she's a 10, but every guy out here is not going to look past her. And you're supposed to try and make her seem that way. And then somehow some guy finally sees her and is like, oh, I see you for who you really are. It's like, every guy sees this. Every guy sees a hot girl and knows it's a hot girl.
First movie that comes to mind, A Walk to Remember.
A Walk to Remember.
Mandy Moore plays this innocent little church, and like all these guys make fun of her. I'm like,
not
and then they give their buddy crap for going after her. I'm
not ever happening.
First off, dude, let's just be honest, dude. That's like a challenge accepted. Most men are like, bro, how did you pull,
dude? Exactly.
How did you get that?
Good on you, dog.
Yeah, she's been Bible thumping this whole time, and you broke the code, bro.
Not only that, but dude, she's like 5'10". You climbed that tree.
Yeah,
that's amazing. Good on you, dog.
See, that's where my mind went right away with Mandy Moore.
There was another show. We're sitting in a waiting room, and there was a show. I don't remember what it was called, but it was something. It was something with. Oh crap! No, I totally blanked on her name. And she's a blonde girl. She's married to Dax Shepard, and she's in The Good Place.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
Oh, can't kill me. Why I can't remember her name. Anyway, where she is supposed to be like, she was like a loser in high school, and they showed it like they went like a flashback, and they showed like a clip of her in high school being bullied by another girl, and it's just like, even in that flashback, I'm like, yeah, no one buys that she's not hot. Like that's no one thinks that. Maybe she's a little bit goofy, but no, she definitely is not going to be able to be bullied by this girl. Kristen Bell. Yep. First movie I ever saw her in was a show called Fanboys. Freaking hilarious. Which you would not find funny because it's all about super fans of Star Wars. It was hilarious.
Probably not. What was I gonna? There's a movie I just thought of when you were talking about that, and it was Drew Barrymore, Never Been Kissed.
Yeah. Oh, that is like the prime example, dude. When they try and make her seem like a loser, it's like no, nobody buys this.
That was prime, like when she was in Scream and she was in all like you're like that was prime time Drew Barrymore.
Oh yeah,
you're like, come on.
Yeah, and when she like goes back to school and they're like, okay, yeah, you're a total loser. I'm like, dude. Girl's stacked. I mean, she's a full-grown woman in high school. You're trying to tell me that
all these dudes are gonna be
every guy's gonna be like, dude, I don't care what we're wearing.
Challenge accepted.
Exactly.
Like, let's go.
Exactly. Or she's all that.
Oh yeah,
she's all that. You want to tell me that little artsy girl's not hot? Sorry, she totally is.
Yeah.
It's all of those movies. I'm like, I understand the premise of what we're trying to say here. But guess what? It's not landing. This is not realistic in any way, shape, or form.
Find uglier people.
Exactly.
You can't use big name people to play ugly roles.
Or you can't find hot people to play ugly roles and think you're going to make them look ugly by putting glasses on their face. Yeah. That doesn't work.
That just made them hotter in like a librarian way. So true.
It is hilarious how we did not have this conversation beforehand. Nope. It's so many of the things we're saying, like completing the sentence. Because this is what we all think. This is what guys think.
Dude, and so many people, like if you talk to like my kids, I've had this conversation all the time, and I'm like, bro, that's how we all are. All of it. It doesn't matter how old we are. Like my father-in-law is 70, right?
Yeah.
And like I have heard him outwardly say stuff about a beautiful girl walk by, right? That his daughter would never think that he says. But I'll look at him like, you would understand that I've heard your dad say stuff like that. Like, it's like, we're men. It doesn't matter if we're 70 or 14.
Yeah.
We're still 14. Like, it doesn't change. And they're like, you guys are pigs. No, we're not. It's just the way that we are. Like, we can't help it.
We're not women.
We're not women. And so, I still think women are like that. They're just quiet about it.
Maybe. But I also say this, I don't think that they are to the extent that we are. And I'm only saying that because...
I agree.
If it wasn't the case, then we would have heard about it, right?
I would love to be a fly on the wall sometimes in a woman's like bathroom area, like to see what they talk about. But then again, I don't want to be in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's not worth it to me.
One of those things. It's just funny because, like I said, there's so many like movie tropes out there and like Hollywood cliches that we're led to believe that this is the way high school was. And so far, I've yet to meet anybody that can confirm their high school was anything like what the movies say.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's such a poor representation of what it's actually like.
I loved high school.
I loved it.
I'd go back tomorrow. I would wake up as a junior tomorrow, bro.
Oh, to me, wake up as a sophomore. That was when I feel like I hit peak life, dude.
See, junior year, I know I get senior year out of it. Oh, bro, it's over.
See, sophomore, I got my driver's license.
See, I got mine as a sophomore. It was more my end of my sophomore year to my junior. So
yeah, see, for me, it was like the beginning of my sophomore year. So it's like, and not only that, but like, dude, you want to talk about no responsibility? You got no responsibilities in 10th grade.
You think you do?
None.
Yeah, you think you do.
I always say this. I was very aware I had none. I had to go home and cut the grass. That was my job. Saturdays, make sure I get the lawn done in the morning. And then after that, I got nothing to do.
Football. I got a job in the summertime so I wasn't bored. But other than that, I didn't do. I played sports. That was my job.
I will say this: that was one of those things where I feel like I was super lucky, and that my parents' rule was if you were playing sports, you didn't have to have a job.
Yeah, that's how my mom was. And I mean, granted, when my mom could give me $20, I could fill my tank up of gas and buy food the rest of the week. It's a little different story.
A little bit different, yeah.
A little bit different there, but things are not like that now.
No. I still remember when gas went over $2 a gallon, and everybody started losing their collective minds.
Now I'm like, I would kill for $2.
$2 a gallon.
The day of the inauguration for Joe Biden, and I only remember this. It's not knocking anybody political. I'm just saying, gas was $2.43.
Really?
Yep. I literally took a picture of it that day. And it was $2.43 at the QT. I was coming back from playing basketball in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what I would kill for that?
A lot has changed.
Oh boy,
a lot has changed.
So speaking of chicks, right? We're talking about girls, and I look. What is? So this isn't even written down. I just thought about it. What is a look on the girl that is kind of unorthodox that you find attractive?
Unorthodox?
Like not like a typical like a blonde haired chick, right?
Okay, so
somewhere like you're like a strange like I got a thing for this kind of thing.
Okay, I got a buddy his thing is unnatural colored hair. Like blue hair, pink
really?
hair. He's like, it's like it immediately just does it for me. Like my mind starts going like, wow. And it's like, it's funny because I've seen lots of other things where like when a therapist gets a girl that comes in with blue hair, they're like praising the Lord, like seeing the dollar signs just dropping.
Right.
So
this girl's got issues.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think like, okay, so give me your example of unorthodox while I try to think of what mine would be.
Like a fully tattooed chick, right?
Or like
there's something hot about it. Like, I don't know why. Like I couldn't, not that I want it, but it's just when you see somebody that's full on tatted out, it's just like man,
it's a dangerous.
Yeah, and you think it might have to do with there was a show with Jesse James and his girlfriend or wife back in the day when I was like in high school, and I can't remember what it was called, but a Cat was her name, Cat or something like that.
Yeah, what was it? It was like an MTV
like
it was reality show,
right? But she was like super hot, but she was full tatted, and it was like,
was it Von D?
Cat Von D? Yeah, I think you're right.
And Jesse, isn't he a tattoo artist?
No, he was a custom chopper maker.
Oh, okay. He was the one married to Sandra Bullock.
Yes.
And
he ruined that like an idiot.
What a fool.
Oh, what an idiot, bro.
He totally lost.
Arguably
what
the
it was?
Hottest chick.
He went for the tatted girl, man.
But that's the thing. It's like this. It's just something out of the norm, right? Like, what got me was
wasn't she like super pale?
I don't remember.
Like vampire white?
Probably, but I don't. All I remember is the tattoos.
I'm afraid that if I look this up, that I'm going to find something I don't want to find.
Probably. Let's just don't. Ignorance is bliss. Just go with what you got in your brain.
For some reason, this is where like the curiosity gets me. I'm like, am I right? Do I remember her being super white?
She was a white girl, but she was super tatted though, so it didn't matter.
No. Anyway.
But like the reason why I thought it was because we both said librarian because we both went to that. And I know guys that are full into the glasses and hair up, bun, and like they're like, dude, that's just a hot look.
I know for me, anytime that Shalay puts the glasses on, she's like, oh, I hate wearing glasses. I'm like, nah, no.
It's hot though. Well,
got no problems with this.
Like it's where Britney Spears sent the whole schoolgirl thing, right? If Shalay put on a white button-up shirt and had pigtails,
dude.
And a plaid skirt.
Oh, I mean, not that I'm already not a total slave for her, but oh yeah,
shut her down, boys. Like get a babysitter. Like you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I just recently started watching, and I'm like, I don't know, 11 years behind from when the show started. Did you ever watch Vikings?
No.
Okay,
I know what you're talking about though.
I just started it. It's actually really good.
Is it good?
I mean, I'm the first season in, which was done by the History Channel, so it's pretty tame, I guess.
Yeah. Who picks it up?
I don't know. I think
Max
Netflix
or something.
I think Netflix actually picks it up at some point. I don't know. I just know that the first season, where I'm like, dude, this is cool. Like, it's really cool. And the wife of the main character, one of the things that she's got going on that I'm like, dude, that's really cool, are like really intricate braids.
Oh.
Like in the side of her hair, not down the back, like not all around,
like
just
a design or something.
Yeah,
on the side?
like just right on the sides of her hair.
See, something weird.
And
that's
I'm just
hot.
I'm like, man, that is, yeah, exactly. It is hot.
It's just weird. It's just, and it's not like it's like an attractive feature that you would never think is something you would ever like be attracted to, but then you see it and you're like, okay, that's kind of hot.
Well,
like,
I also know my thing, and I tell Shalay this all the time. When we were dating, she accidentally dyed her hair black. Like she didn't mean to. It's like apparently she did something wrong with the and I've told her every day since. I'm like, why can't you just go back to black hair? It's so
just
hot.
for a little bit.
Yeah,
it's almost like it's somebody else.
So we're watching New Girl, and this first season of Zooey Deschanel, she's got black hair and bangs.
Yeah.
And Shalay leans over, she's like, whenever I watch this show, it makes me want to get bangs. I'm like, yeah, go do it. Black hair and bangs. I'm
go
in
now.
100%. I support you fully behind on this one.
No joke.
I'm trying to think if there's something else. There's got to be other things.
I'm sure there is, but that was just like I said, the librarian thing, or the like tatted thing. Just chicks with tattoos are hot. I mean, I could argue that like muscular women are not hot, but the problem is being in the sport now, I just appreciate what they've done.
Yeah.
Like it isn't like I'm attracted to it. It's just like you look and you're like, dude, like the work they're putting in the dedication is admirable. Like, you're like, dude, how crazy, like to see you like, cause men, we all look kind of blocky, and we both agree that women have bodies that are just amazing, right? They are the supreme species in a lot of ways, and a man's body is not hot.
No, it's not.
It's just not. It's arguably the same idea, right, with a few tweaks, but women have beautiful bodies, and when you see where them go down to like where I'm not talking roided out, I'm talking like a nice fit. You just appreciate what they're doing. A muscular, you see it. So there's just weird things that I don't know. It just made me think about like what other things you thought were kind of attractive.
Yeah, I mean, I say like it's
like some guys are into super fat chicks. Like cool, like good for you, right? Like
everybody's got something.
Everybody has their thing, right?
Everybody's
if you like them thick with 5 C's, that's fine.
5 C's. Everybody needs love. All right, let's just say that everybody needs love.
I'm just curious.
All right, so I got that one out of the way. I wanted to talk about it. It just drives me nuts when you see movies where they're talking about like, oh, this girl, nobody likes this girl. It's like, no, everybody likes that girl.
I saw her at, I'm pretty sure we saw her, Zooey Deschanel, at Disneyland the first time we met her. She was
really?
With the property, what's the guy? Is it Property Brothers? The guy that she was dating for a long time? The twin? One guy's a real estate agent. The other one is the builder.
Yeah.
She was with him, one of those guys.
Oh, really?
They're
tall
sneaking
dudes.
Him around because,
They're celebrities.
Well, but anybody can do that if you have the money. Like you can pay somebody you can hire somebody at Disneyland to be your private chauffeur, and you get into everywhere first of the line.
I have no problem believing that, because you know what Disney is ultimately all the time?
Cash
capitalists.
Yeah, for sure.
In fact, we're not going to talk about it now, but I have a few stories about, that Disney had posted, and it just made me angry. I just hate that they have such a stranglehold on so many of us, because they create so many awesome videos and movies and properties that we love.
Put people in debt to go to their
exactly,
parties.
but they absolutely pray. They pray so hard.
And that wasn't the foundation of what Disney was supposed to be back when it started. Disneyland was not supposed to be somewhere.
Disneyland.
It wasn't supposed to be somewhere we had to refinance your house.
Yeah.
And you
should have to take a loan.
You see people there and they've got Velcro shoes on, and you're like, listen, I know you've taken out credit card debt for this, and that's terrible. You shouldn't have to do that.
With a knee brace, by the way.
With the knee
braces.
They all have knee braces. That's right. But it's just sad that it's come to that. But anyway.
One topic that I had heard Bill Simmons talking about, and it got me interested, and I wanted to get your take on this. They were talking about crown jewel sports franchises. Like, if you were Jeff Bezos, okay, and you were to say, all right, I want to buy whatever sports franchise in whatever league, what would be like your top 10? You're saying, okay, these 10 franchises, and we'll say, pick from whatever league you want, doesn't matter. If you could get your hands on this one, you owned one of the historically great, most valuable, most recognized, not so much most like successful, because that's not always the same thing, but like everybody around the world knows this because of this brand, right? And I heard him say a couple of them, and I would just be interested if I were to say, well, what would you put down as like
top? I already know. I'll give you the top like 4.
Okay, I'm going to write them down what you say here.
Okay, so, and this is not biased in any way, but you got to understand, like you said, name, brand, recognition.
And I know exactly what you're saying, and I don't disagree.
Okay, the Dallas Cowboys.
Don't disagree.
For sure.
One of the most valuable franchises on the planet.
Absolutely. And their branding, their marketing, everything. I mean, dude, you go into Texas, it is everywhere. They've got the airport is a Dallas Cowboy fan base. Like, it's just, they've done it. Jerry Jones Jerry World has done a great job.
Yep.
Okay.
And a lot of that is based on, and it's because of their early success as the Cowboys franchise when there wasn't there weren't 32 teams in the league, right? So in the 70s, they're competing with the Steelers, and they were successful then. They continued that success.
The Steelers. Some would say that would be another franchise to buy, based just because again they're nostalgic
National
football
fan base.
Yeah, huge, right?
Yeah, and hey, 6 Super Bowls, okay?
Well, right. You know what I mean? So football, it would be the Cowboys, right? Just probably right off the top.
So let's do this. Let's just stick in sports because it makes it a little bit easier. We'll say with just the NFL, what would you say the top 4 teams in the NFL would be?
Okay, so Dallas is huge. Dallas is number 1.
Yeah.
The Steelers have to be on there.
I was going to say, I think the Steelers have got to be
Green Bay.
Yeah.
The frozen tundra is a national monument in football, right? Like it is what it is.
Everybody, that's like
the Vince Lombardi trophy. It is the Super Bowl trophy. Like
absolutely.
That is huge. And I think they're publicly owned too.
They are.
Yeah, which is great.
Which is interesting. It's interesting because it's the only team. I think it's the only North American team that's that way.
The 4th one, I mean, you could say right now in today's world, the Chiefs, just because of their success. But I'd probably go with the Patriots.
See, I wouldn't say either one because I don't think either one has got like the national brand or even an international brand.
Well, okay, you could almost argue, even though the Raiders are pretty popular.
I would say the Raiders have a much more universal fan base and I remember talking about this when we were talking about like the best brand or the worst brand draft. The Raiders does not matter what city they are in. It's the Raiders.
Yeah.
Right? They could be in any city in America.
It doesn't matter.
And it does not matter. You don't say the Las Vegas Raiders. You don't say the Oakland Raiders or the Los Angeles. You say Raiders. The Raiders. Yeah. I don't know if I would say that they have a brand, but I don't know if I'd put them up there, but they definitely have a universal brand.
But your
first 3, I have no qualms with. Green Bay, 100%. What is your
4th then? Because I think a lot, you've taken the top 3 and those are clear cut winners.
Yeah.
4 could be argued a bunch of different ways, I think, but who is your clear cut 4?
So I got 2 teams that immediately came to mind and I'm debating back and forth on them. One of them has a much better history of really good success, but they don't exactly have they don't have the market that the other one has. And these are the 2 that I was thinking. And you're going to hate it when I say this.
I think if you say the Niners,
I was going to say the 49ers and the Giants.
The 49ers I'd understand. The Giants, I don't know that I'd follow as much.
It's New York. It's New York, and you are always the center focus of whatever.
So to that extent, though, if you talk about New York, Philly would be in that 4 conversation just because the Philly fan base is out of control in those areas, right? Like New York, the Giants. So you'd have to have them in that conversation for me as well if you're going to put the Giants in there. And I hate both those.
I hate them all.
But, I mean, okay.
I put the Giants, I think, are clearly above the Eagles. And I say that only because the Eagles are Philly.
Yeah.
Like they are Philly. The Giants are more like a Northeast.
Like the New England area.
Yeah.
That's not New England.
Exactly. Because you have the Jets, but the Jets are like the Mets in the Yankees. Like they're there, but they're definitely number 2. They're 100% number 2 to the Giants and the Yankees, right? And I look at the Giants and I just think that that's got a national fan base because if nothing else, ESPN's forcing them down your throats. Right? So if we had to say one or the other, I think I would probably land on the 49ers because of the level of success they've had more of.
Yeah.
And
historically.
And yeah, exactly. Historic. But I don't know that I think they have a bigger brand.
I don't either, but I don't, and again, it's not biased in any way, but I think your top 3 are, that's why I say your top 3 are pretty clear cut. I don't think we have any, there's no arguments between the 2 of us. Yeah. So it's the Cowboys, the Steelers, and the Green Bay as far as a universal brand in the NFL. Like these have got to be the most valuable franchises. Okay. So let's stay with just top 3s then. If you went into baseball, okay. Now this is where
we're not going to do 4. We're just going to
let's just do 3. That way it makes it easy because I think it's more clear cut. 3, 4. When you start to get 4 and 5,
definitely in the NFL, it's more clear cut.
Yeah. So and see, here's where my lack of baseball, I guess not knowledge, but just following. But if I'm going baseball, the Yankees are number 1.
100%.
And I'm not even a baseball fan, but I think most people would agree with that.
There is, in my opinion, no more recognized brand in all of the Major League Baseball than the Yankees.
It's the stripes, baby.
Not just the stripes, it's the NY, the hat, the navy blue.
It's never changed. Like it's the same uniform.
Exactly. And again, they talk about success. They have like 28 World
Do they
Series
even have
titles.
their names on the back of their jerseys yet? Yeah, they still don't, right? Yeah.
Still don't. Just the numbers and pinstripes.
Yeah.
So the Yankees easily number one, and not only that, but they're also in the largest media market in the country, who have a clear number two brother in the Mets. Even though the Mets owner is the richest owner in baseball, doesn't matter, bro. You're going up against the Yankees.
So number two, and again, this is where my lack, and I only say it because of the history of them, is the Chicago White Sox.
The White Sox?
Only because when I know, but when I think of baseball, that's where my mind goes, is these guys who used to play for the Sox back in the day. Like I don't. So again, this is where I don't have any kind of knowledge of baseball.
I fully expected you would have said the Boston Red Sox, to which I would have fully agreed.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree. I kind of forgot about them, to be honest with you. So yeah, I mean, the Red Sox are there.
The Red Sox have been around almost since the beginning, right? They've been around forever.
Okay, yeah, I would definitely say them over. They would be number two over the White Sox. I just forgot about them.
Yeah, so when you said... Sorry, White Sox. I would have never. White Sox would have been
because that's where my mind goes. I don't even know who I see, but they're older players that have a Sox jersey on. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm talking like the Babe Ruth days eras of like, who
that's
all
the
these
Red Sox.
Yeah,
he played for the Red Sox and the Yankees.
So
Babe Ruth, baby. But Benton's been watching. Oh my dude, he's been watching The Sandlot over and over and over. We went to the game with he and his buddy the other day.
Maybe that's actually who I'm thinking of, but I didn't realize it was Red Sox.
Yeah,
it just says Sox on them, I think.
Yep, that's
so. Okay, that because that's why
it just said Sox. That it could have been either. It could have been either the White Sox or the Red Sox back in the day. Probably was the Red Sox you're seeing though. But this goes back to our worst names draft. Remember when Zach drafted the Reds? And they're the Reds because they didn't want to also be the Red Sox. What a stupid freaking names back in the day, named after Sox colors. Come on.
I love that.
Come on.
So who's your three in baseball? Who's your third?
So
because I just don't. I'm not educated enough to do it.
So I got two teams that I would say are my third. Actually, I got three teams. But I'm going to say my third, and I hate the team I hate more than any other team in all professional sports, Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yeah.
The LA Dodgers. The other two that I would have had just below them were the San Francisco Giants, long history, and they've had a lot of success. And I would have said the Chicago Cubs only because
that's
it's Chicago.
Other team, that Cubs. Yeah, the Cubs are another team that's pretty rookie of the year.
Exactly, baby. But I would say that it's got to be the Dodgers.
The Dodgers have got to be. I forgot about them too. Yeah.
All right, so we're done with baseball.
We're going to the Dodger game, right?
Oh yeah, dude. Monday.
I'm wearing blue.
Bastard. Mark it down. That's on me.
Okay, so baseball's done. Basketball, I think, for me, it's the Lakers because they're the Lakers.
Because
right?
of the Lakers. And as much as I hate to admit it, they have had an enormous amount of success.
Yep.
I mean, they've had two clear-cut eras in which they were top team in the league.
Chicago Bulls, because I think Jordan
made that team.
And it still is the Bulls. Like, no matter what you do, everybody knows the Bulls.
I don't think I would say that's the case anymore. I think that they had their run with Jordan, and since then they've been very forgettable.
But you still would like that franchise would be worth owning.
I mean, if I'm going to the NBA, I don't think that they're. I don't think that they're
you know who else maybe would be there is the Knicks.
I was going to say it's because it's New York. They're the Knicks. Yeah. Even though that they haven't had really any success in my lifetime, they're still they still get talked about all the freaking time.
Stupid.
But I would actually put the Celtics above them.
No, yeah, Celtics are a nostalgic team too. So yeah, because Lakers and Celtics are pretty.
They have historic rivalry.
And you would know, and again, like that brand, if you're going to own a team, like in the NBA, those are them.
In fact, the Celtics are currently up for sale, which is what started this whole conversation on Bill Simmons.
For what? For how much?
They're for sale. Probably going to be $6 billion. So this whole conversation started on Bill Simmons things because the NBA is they're going to expand at some point, right? They're going to add two more teams. They're at 30 right now. It's almost a guarantee those two places are going to be Seattle and Las Vegas.
The Supersonics are coming back, baby.
The Supersonics are coming back, baby. They should have never left.
They better keep that name, dude.
They should.
You cannot name any other team.
No chance.
You can't do that.
By the way, did you know where that name came from?
Nope.
A plane that never got built.
Perfect.
It was a plane that they were going to build.
Awesome name.
And it never actually happened.
Awesome name.
Yeah, it's great.
Great players.
Oh, good color scheme.
Great color scheme.
Yeah, solid.
It worked.
So
solid
anyway,
team.
The whole idea was that if they can get $6 billion for the Celtics and they're thinking Jeff Bezos, because why would he not buy them? He's got enough money to buy literally every team in the league. Why would he not, right? So he buys one of these historic franchises that's like, I mean, the tentpole, like one of the most recognizable names and brands in the entire world. So we buy the Boston Celtics fresh off of a championship run, and now we've got enough money to then be able to use that to increase the buy-in to be able to get these expansion teams done in Seattle and Las Vegas. Because if the valuation of the Celtics sells for $6 billion, the valuation of every franchise goes up, because now you're in that exclusive club of only 30 people. Now we're going to try and add 2 more. Well, guess what? The cost to do so just raised
Just
a whole
went
bunch.
up, yeah.
Exactly. So, all right. So the Boston. Okay. So we've got the Celtics and we've got the Lakers. I'm trying to think of who my third one would be, and it might be the Knicks. I don't want to say it's the Knicks, but you know what?
They're just a brand because you know who they are. You know the Knicks logo. You know the town, the Madison Square Garden. You know what I'm saying? Like people know that stuff.
Yeah, they play in the most famous arena in the world. Again, the largest city in America, biggest media market around.
Yeah.
And there's not another team where I'd look at and say like, it's not the Heat. Right,
no.
It's
I hate to Jazz.
Say, it's not the Jazz.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not the Clippers.
It's not the Suns.
I hate to say it. It's not the Suns. The Suns don't have it. They don't have
the
championship.
Rockets. It's not the Magic. It's not the. You know what I mean? Yeah,
it's got to be the Knicks.
It's got to be.
Who we got to be overlooking somebody.
I'm sure we are.
It probably
we just named like 10 teams.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as like,
it's the Hawks.
It's Atlanta for sure. Everybody wants that team. All right, so then the last league we're looking at, which we're not going to go to the NHL. We don't know.
I don't know enough.
Yeah, I don't know about that. So what we got here is we've got the Knicks, the Celtics, the Lakers, the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, the Cowboys, the Steelers, the Packers.
I think
that's
right.
Fair.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
I don't think any one of those teams are like, hey, you're going to be the owner of. You're like, cool.
Yeah, dude. If you had that, you're set.
I'm good. I mean, if I owned the Green Bay Packers, I would still wear a Cowboys jersey. It'd be great. Just kidding.
All right, we'll take one more break here, and then we're going to finish this thing up. You got a house that needs to get painted. You got some scratches in the walls. Maybe the exterior paint's a little bit faded because of our awesome sun here in Arizona. Well, I have got a fantastic suggestion for you. What you need to do is you need to reach out to Kellen Brady at Brady Painting Services. I'm telling you right now, they are top-notch, first class. They get the job done right at a great price. Kellen is just the best when it comes to his customer service, his communication, his professionalism. And the best part about it, let's say if you're getting ready to sell your house because you're moving on to bigger and better things, Kellen Brady will not only paint your home at cost, but he will also sell your home because he also is a licensed realtor in the Arizona state. So what you need to do is you need to reach out to Kellen Brady at Brady Painting Services. Phone number is 480-310-1767 or email them at bradypaintingservices@gmail.com. That's all one word, no numbers, no spaces, no hyphens. bradypaintingservices@gmail.com. And once again, that phone number is 480-310-1767. I'm telling you right now, Kellen will take great care of you. Brady Painting Services. All right, here we go. Last bit here. I got 2 more things to talk about. One, this is a very, very cool, actually I got 3 things. Very cool thing that I found out about the owner or one of the owners of the Chicago Bears, George McCaskey. Did you know that he is a youth sports ref?
What?
Legitimately.
He's actually a ref?
He's actually a ref.
Good for him.
This billionaire will show up to ref a, youth baseball game. Sitting behind home plate calling balls and strikes.
Does everybody know who he is?
And everybody knows who he is.
Really?
Yeah. And in fact, the story I was listening to, this was on ESPN Daily Podcast. They were talking about during the draft, he was reffing a game, a baseball game during the draft. And when somebody was keeping track of it, watching on their phone, telling him what was going on, the Bears had made a trade at some point, and he had no idea when they said, hey, the Bears just took this guy. He's like, how did we take that? We didn't have a pick in that round. I'm like, oh, looks like you guys made a trade. He's like, huh, all right. Like, but
He's like, I don't care.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like maybe to the point where I'm like, I don't like Caleb Williams, but dude, I might be rooting for the Bears.
You know, Caleb Williams, to his credit's played, so he's made some college game day 64, whatever you play, moves, right? He's done some
which is,
things.
I was talking to Jeremy about this, the one Bears fan I know.
Yeah.
And I was telling him, like, watching those plays is exactly why I don't believe he's going to work.
Yeah.
You can't.
Well, you're doing that against third stringers. Like,
Yes.
it's guys that are trying to make a team. You don't have that whole out there. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have everybody on the line doing that.
And
so
I feel dumb trying to like make this call now for a guy that people are way smarter than me in football have dubbed a generational talent.
Okay, but here's the thing. On that exact thought, right? I just saw a thing about J.J. Watt. Did you see what they put out about J.J. Watt? He read his scouting report.
Oh, yeah. Okay, go on. He was a 13th pick in his draft.
Dude, no, I'm talking like out of high school.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
All the way through. He was a 2-star recruit.
Yep.
They said he would never amount to anything in the NFL. His pass rush was weak.
Yep.
He was never going to be a change of game player.
In fact, didn't he go to college originally as a tight end because defensively they said he doesn't have it?
I don't remember.
I'm almost positive he started as a tight end in college.
But then he 3-time defensive player of the year and all this stuff. So
Hall of Fame.
I'm like, okay, I know that scouts get it wrong.
Yes.
But they, in the sense of these guys become players, but I think they get wrong the guys who are going to be stars more than they get wrong the guys that are going to suck.
Dude, we can go down the draft, and it is every single time that there are 2 quarterbacks in a draft, there is never a time in which both of them hit. Like the 1-2 picks never happens. It never happens that both guys end up being stars. I can go all the way back to Peyton Manning and why can't I forget the guy's name out of Washington State? Famous bust. Probably Ryan Leaf.
Just
Ryan Leaf.
Ryan. I was thinking the Chargers. I was thinking Phillip Rivers, but
Okay, Ryan Leaf, famous for the fact that those 2 guys, everyone said, doesn't matter which one you pick, you got yourself a Hall of Fame quarterback. That's not the way it worked out, right?
Not even
Ryan Leaf, famous bust. Peyton Manning, MVP, Hall of Famer.
2-time Super Bowl champion.
Yeah. Arguably, at the time, everyone was like, he's the greatest quarterback of all time. Well, then Tom Brady
they call him the sheriff.
That's a great name.
It is a great name.
That's a great name. But, okay, going back again, RG3, Andrew Luck. RG3 lasted 1 year. He had 1 good year. After that, career backup. Okay?
I really, really wish Andrew Luck would have stuck around. I think he would have done a lot of
He was so good. He's the only quarterback I watched in college that I said, that guy is going to be great in the NFL.
Yeah, you knew it. Stanford.
You just knew it.
Great.
He was so good.
I mean, kudos to him for picking health and brain damage stuff. I get it, but it's still like, dang it, man.
I know. But even then, it's clearly that Andrew Luck was a better quarterback.
Oh, for sure.
He had like an 8 or 9 year career and just retired early.
But this whole, Patrick Mahomes is an anomaly. Russell Wilson's an anomaly. The original Michael Vick's an anomaly.
Yeah.
But those kind of quarterbacks, the RG3s that come and go, dude, they're not. I mean, Lamar Jackson, an anomaly right there.
Okay, going back to the Lamar Jackson's draft, the 2 quarterbacks, well, not actually, it was almost the last 2 quarterbacks taken in that first round ended up being the guys, but that's not exactly true because Josh Rosen was in between them. No. So, but is Baker Mayfield the guy? He's a guy. Not the guy. He's a guy.
He's becoming the guy if he keeps it up.
I don't know if I even say the guy.
He's becoming a guy.
He's a guy.
He's done really well.
Exactly. He's a guy. Like, he is a serviceable starting quarterback in the NFL who may or may not take you to the Super Bowl. He's not going to do it alone. He's not taking you.
No.
He may be able to ride that wave and not stop it, but he's definitely not taking you. Sam Darnold, where's he backing up now? I have no idea where he's the backup now.
Know.
I mean, he's probably going to be his 4th or 5th team. Probably even more. But the point I'm trying to make is those are the top 2 guys from that draft. They both suck. I say suck. It's hard to say about Baker. He doesn't suck. But you get my drift.
Yep.
I'm just trying to say that it is rare. It is super rare that in the same draft, 1-2, those guys actually pan out to be great. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't. And so the idea that Caleb Williams and Drake May become Hall of Famers, that's not likely. One of those guys is going to suck.
McDaniels and Mike
Penix and Michael Penix Jr. I mean, Michael
never
Penix
even
Jr.
played.
He's like 26 years old, so at least for him, he's got some maturity behind him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally forgot about Jaden McDaniels. I mean, I shouldn't have.
Playing
Former
for the Commanders.
Sun Devil. But he's going to suck because he's playing for the Commanders.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's got a long road in front of him because that's one of those organizations that, sorry, bro, you just went to the wrong place. No matter what you do, you're not going to be able to lift this franchise out of the mud.
No, Dan Quinn's going to try, but it ain't going to happen.
I mean, it's possible. It's possible.
Not for
Dude,
a while.
look at the Lions. The Lions have been a dumpster
fire doormat team
forever. And dude, they were one game away from the Super Bowl last year, and they still look good.
Yeah, I think they're going to be tough.
Yeah, I do think so. So it's possible. It's just not likely.
I just don't think Dan Quinn's the guy. Like, he was the coach, defensive coordinator for the Cowboys for years, and he played good defensive. I mean, don't get me wrong, but we didn't win anything.
Yeah, he was the head coach of the Falcons, took him to the Super Bowl, famously lost 28-3.
Man, bad.
Famously gave up a
because he couldn't run he stopped running the ball.
So here's a question for you. Okay. I got into this argument with my brother and my nephew. I said that the Falcons got blown out in that Super Bowl. Now, I know that the scoreboard does not say that. It went into overtime. They lost in overtime. My point was that you were up 25 points in an NFL game. In an NFL game, you have a 25-point lead. There is no way you should ever lose.
Dude, and
you were in the Super Bowl.
And you play the clock game. You are taken to 40 seconds every play.
You take the entire play clock every play.
Especially because of who you're playing.
Yes. You're playing the greatest quarterback of all time.
And one of the greatest
coaches of all time.
So you can't sit there and be like, oh, well, we were just... No.
Let's give them opportunities.
We're up 28-3. We're up 25 points. We are running the ball. I don't care if we get 2 yards every time. Guess what? We're going to burn 3 minutes every possession. Every possession. And that adds up.
Yeah, because it becomes a math game at that point. They can't... If you take the clock away, they can't score.
But no...
And that's so. What would you say? Would you argue back with me when you said
they definitely got blown out?
Okay, glad that we agree on this.
It started different, but you can't look and say they didn't. For the simple fact that they came back and won, whether it doesn't matter overtime. In my mind, dude, they got blown out. They just didn't get off the bus at the beginning.
Yeah, dude, it is. Again, I keep going back to this. In any NFL game, you have a 25-point lead and you lose
at halftime.
Yes. They have 30 minutes to make up 25 points. That sounds like a little bit. I'm telling you guys, in the NFL, that is a mountain. You are staring at Everest if that's the case. You have to make up
at that level of play.
At that level of play, 100%. You have to make up 25 points in 30 minutes.
And they're not going to score 3 points, so that you may get 7, but then they get 3, right? Yeah. So now you've only gained 4.
Yeah.
And back and forth. But instead, you see Tom Brady pick them apart because when your defense gives up, or when you're on offense and you're like, 3 and out, because you threw the ball 3 times. Oh, that's great. You've wasted 12 seconds of play.
Yeah. You've done nothing to aid your cause. So like I said it was a blowout. Both of them were saying it's not a blowout. It went into overtime. I'm like, that to me, that's like...
It's a metaphorical blowout. It's not a blowout.
It's not a scoreboard blowout. You're right. But it is one of those things where it's absolutely demoralizing. And it ruined that franchise. I mean, shoot, dude. Since then, Tom Brady went on to win another Super Bowl with another franchise, and the Falcons completely dismantled the entire team. Dan Quinn got fired, became a defensive coordinator.
And they haven't. Matt Ryan left. He retired.
Matt Ryan retired. Actually, he got shipped off to Indianapolis.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He did play at Indy. And then they had a bunch of Mariotas and all kinds of coming through.
It's just been a revolving door since. And now Kirk Cousins. Hey?
Well, maybe.
Hey, here's a question. When's our draft? When's our fantasy draft?
But I think I have to move it.
Okay, because we're gonna have to make it a thing, right?
Yeah, I need one more person. We only have 9.
I could probably guess one more.
And we just need one. Dude, it's with kids. Like, it isn't going to be crazy. It's just kind of play around with the kids. And it's a $20 buy-in type thing I think we'll do. It'll be no big deal.
So the reason why I'm saying this is because I was listening again to Bill Simmons, and they're talking about fantasy, and they're all getting excited about it. And they're talking about how there's certain players that like, listen, I don't care what I do. I'm never dating that guy again. A lot of dating metaphors when it comes to fantasy football. And they're like, that's a road that I went down. I'll never go down it again. I'll learn my lesson. And the one they talked about was Kyle Pitts. But by the end of it, they're like, yeah, but now he's got Kirk Cousins. Yeah. I mean,
dude, you know what's the other guy's name? Oh, hang on. I think he's going to do great. Actually,
Drake London?
No, I shouldn't tell you because you're in my draft. I think he's going to be really good, and he's a tight end. And hang on. It'll come to me.
I mean, Sam Laporta?
No. It's a team that
Trey McBride?
No.
It's a nobody team?
No, it's Jacksonville's guy.
Oh,
Ingram.
Yeah. Evan Ingram used to play for the Giants, right?
I think him and Trevor Lawrence are going to light it up in the red zone.
I mean, maybe. I mean, that's assuming that the Jaguars are any good and get to the red zone.
I think Trevor Lawrence
Evan Ingram's not that big of a dude.
Dude, he's got nothing
he's a
to
big
do with
dude,
it.
but
He's got no, dude. He's a baller. He's a guy. He's a ball hawk. He'll go
He's a
get it.
ball
He gets
catcher.
himself open.
Yeah.
And Trevor Lawrence is. I've always been a fan since Clemson, but I think it would take time, right? We knew going to the Jags, you were going to take time. But he's starting to be.
I'll say this. I remember when I said that Andrew Luck was the one quarterback I watched in college that I knew would be good in the NFL. I thought the exact same thing about Trevor Lawrence, and I might be wrong.
I don't think so.
I might be.
He's on a terrible team, and but they got Travis Etienne. They've drafted really well. I think they're going to be pretty decent this year. And they're in a weak division.
They are in a super weak division, which is the one thing that really helps pad the wins. But he's still in games. If you look at his statistics, he's like the exact same guy as Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, he's not a Dak Prescott.
I mean, win-loss record he is. Actually, not regular season.
No.
But all I'm trying to say is, like, I look at him and I say he's got all of the physical tools if you were to build a quarterback in a lab, he would come out looking like Trevor Lawrence or Josh Allen.
With shorter hair.
I don't know. Hair looks great. You know what I mean?
He has great hair.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, why did I just forget the guy's name? I can't believe I forgot his name. He has been super fun to watch with Micah Parsons on their podcast. He's a quarterback for the Texans. CJ Stroud.
Oh, yeah.
I just had to talk myself through it. Like I said, if you were to build quarterbacks in the lab, the only thing that CJ Stroud doesn't have that Trevor Lawrence and Josh Allen has are the feet. Like, Josh Allen and Trevor Lawrence can run.
I just got up too fast, and that's that blackout moment. I'm like, oh,
you're going to go down there for a second.
I just got to hold on. It's fun.
So anyway, what was the topic we were even supposed to be talking about just now? Oh, George McCaskey and the Bears, and how we totally got off the fact that it is super cool that he has made that his thing. Where like he feels like it is so important to invest in youth sports, specifically to officiate it, because it's like, was that Frozen Solid? Was it on the top row?
Oh yeah, top one.
Dang it! You might want to put that one down a low. I gotta turn I hate that the thing even comes with an ice box. We're talking about my mini fridge, by the way, guys. Got that thing at Costco. It's great, but apparently the water at the top is freezing. So I just think it's really cool that, guys, you can't have that.
No, I thought it was coffee, like some kind of coffee flavor. I was like, ooh, I might try that.
No coffee for me, man. No coffee for me. That's the one I was telling you need to try next time, though, when you can get off of the zeros.
Booster.
Oh, it's good. It's very, very good. So I had that one. Let's see. I also had this story. This is a crazy story. For the first time in Major League Baseball history, keep in mind, this is a league that's been around for 150 years. There is a player that on the box score will have played for both teams.
How? Explain. Okay, explain.
I love the face you just made.
Well, I'm like, wait, how's that possible?
So here's how it works. Danny Jansen was the catcher for the Toronto Blue Jays, played there for a long time. They were playing against the Boston Red Sox, and the game got delayed for rain or something. Inclement weather, I don't know what it was. It got stopped. They're going to resume the game on an off day between the both of them.
But
Danny Jansen got traded to the Boston Red Sox. He's the catcher for the Red Sox now.
That's interesting.
So
same game.
He's going to finish the game. He started as the catcher for the Blue Jays, and like the fourth or fifth inning, he's going to pick it up as the catcher for the Red Sox. And to make matters even more interesting, he was at bat. He was at bat for the Blue Jays.
That's cool.
When the game got delayed. I think he had 2 strikes on him. So the guy stepping in is going to be the new guy, and it's just cool.
Yeah,
it's one of those cool things.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I feel like one of the things I find really fun about baseball is every day there is a new weird thing that's happened, and it's for a league that's been around for 150 years. There's still weird things happening. It's cool.
Yeah, that's going to be a cool thing just to see how it works.
Yeah,
out.
just the box. He's going to be a part of history. This guy gets to be a part of history simply because the rain got bad. I have one last thing.
No, yeah, go ahead.
This is my theory.
I'm just starting to get hot.
Dude, I even turned the air down in here.
I know. It's got nothing to do with it.
I turned the fans off because I feel like they mess with the sound.
Oh, no. I'm good. I just go through these spurts of hot spell.
Got some hot flashes there?
Oh, you have no idea. My body is going through so much. It's
Go through
stupid.
menopause.
Ooh, I think that would be easier. Just kidding to all you women out there.
We never claimed that things are easier.
No.
I got a theory here, and I've thought about a lot as I was driving back from this last weekend. Like I said, we went on that trip. On the whole drive home, I was thinking about it. I think that every generation the style of every decade is 30 years in repeat. Think about when we were in the 90s. The big thing in the 90s was the 60s, right?
Okay, so you're talking about like clothing and stuff.
Clothing.
I 100% agree with you.
Okay. So
it's out of control.
Yeah, dude. So I was listening to one of the songs was a total 90s song, and I can't remember what it was. How Bizarre. Remember the song? How Bizarre. How Bizarre.
How Bizarre.
Yeah. And I was listening to it, and there was a lot of sound to it. I'm like, this is very 60s sound. And then there was another one. It was Walking on the Sun by all Smash Mouth. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of like
Walking on the Sun.
Yeah, they had the organ in it that sounds like the band The Doors from the 60s. And I'm like, dude, you know what? The 90s? And then we had Austin Powers, right?
Great movie.
Great movie.
Kids are almost old enough. I can't wait till we can watch that.
It's a fantastic one. And then, do you remember how many things were all about like the lava lamps in the 90s and like the neon colors? But it was like, we were obsessed with the 60s in the 90s. Okay? I mean, go all in the Sandlot takes place in the 60s, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fast forward. Now we're in the 2000s. I specifically remember we were really into the 70s. The 70s was a big thing, dude. The bell bottoms, the low-rise jeans.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So, like, we were really into the 70s, and there was a lot of groovy stuff that was coming out. Groovy, dude. And so, like, we were really into that. And okay, then in the 2010s, and you were married at this point, so this may not have been so much your thing. But, dude, every party was an 80s party. Every party we went to, 80s themed. Everybody was showing up in a total 80s workout gear.
I had kids, and it was, I was living the life you are right now.
Yeah, I know.
Don't go anywhere. You're stuck with your kids. They're young.
Dude, it's crazy that we are the same age, but we are a decade apart in family.
For sure.
Okay, and then now we're talking about it. Okay, so the 80s, 2010s, that's 30 years. Now we're in the 2020s. Kids are obsessed with the freaking 90s.
It's like weird. It's like, I never thought about it like that. It's a good perspective because you're right. Because I call them generation copycat because I feel like all they've done is go back and they hit every generation they want and think, oh yeah, these, except for we didn't have Crocs.
No.
Those are, I'm getting out of control.
Footwear ever.
These other little, what are like the half shoe slipper thing? Have you seen these stupid things like they wear? So it's like your heels out, but your foot's encased in like leather looking like.
Oh, are you talking about like the Birkenstock thing?
But they're men.
Oh,
so they're not. The girls have them too, but men are wearing them. So I don't know what they are,
dude.
But
I don't know.
If you like, okay, so the first word that comes to mind is douchebag, because like they wear them in the gym, and then I'm like, do you? And then, dude. So okay, sidebar. I'm on the Stairmaster. I've been on it for 20 minutes, and these two idiots get next to me, and they're younger kids, and they start talking, and I only have one earbud in, and it was a mistake on my part, but whatever. So they start talking. Now, mind you, the kid is in like baggy jeans and work boots. Okay. Hey, maybe you just came from work. I'll give you credit. Whatever. You know,
I give you no credit. Come on, dude.
I want to throat punch him.
Pack a bag.
Okay. But it's like he decided to go to the gym on a whim with his buddy, right? So his buddy he thinks he's in shape and he's not. And you can hear him talking and he's like, what sucks about the Stairmaster is I just feel like, I've been only burned 16 calories, but I'm working harder than that. I could go for a run and burn more. And I'm thinking to myself the whole time, I'm like, bro, the Stairmaster's not to get in shape. Like, it's to lose fat. You keep your heart rate at a certain point. It's a fat loss thing. It's proven fact. It's just crazy. Mm-hmm. But listening to these two idiots talk, and he's telling his buddy like he knows, and I'm looking at him like, bro, you look like melted ice cream. Just stop. Like, why are you even talking
melted ice cream? You know what I'm saying?
But I'm like, and it's not a knock. It's just because of what he's trying to tell his buddy. Like, he knows what he's talking about. It's like, bro, you've seen a few Instagram videos about fitness. You think you could go for a run? I want to see you run for 5 minutes. You say you could. I ran 5 minutes. I could burn 100-something calories. I only burned 64. And then his buddy's like, oh yeah, I only burned this. This sucks. I'm thinking to myself the whole time. I'm like, this. I almost said something, bro. I looked over at him and I laughed and I just turned my head.
Hey, listen, man. This is when you go tarps off and show them, guys, this is what Stairmaster does.
I'm like, yeah, you guys look like you. That's fine. Like, I'm over here sweating like crazy on the Stairmaster. I said, maybe if you move it past level 2, You know, it'll do something for you, but it's like you just made me so mad. But these are the same kind of kids that wear those sandals and the broccoli hair, right? That's a whole thing.
Dude, I gotta send you this. My nephew sent me this clip of these two boys, like, I don't know, probably 14, 15-year-old kids, just thinking they look so cool, staring at their camera, making their faces with their hair done. And then it like clips. There's a splice and somebody else comes in, and the one guy has got bananas taped to his head to mimic the other one kid's hair. And dude, it was so hilarious. And I think he sent it to me because we were talking about the llama tops. Dude, you know what I mean? Those kids, like you're saying broccoli tops.
Broccoli, dude, I'm telling you, man, it's out of control.
But it is crazy because I wrote down on here, the thing that was crazy to me is to see Birkenstocks and Doc Martens on kids' feet.
Dude, Lexi just bought her own pair, right? She got a job now. I had to buy these. And so she learned about money and how daddy's money apparently is less valuable than her money. So she wants to use mine.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, no, you have a job. I don't even know what she wanted me to buy her. And I was like, no, you can buy it yourself. You have money. She goes, well, I don't have any money. I spent it on shoes. And I'm like, sounds like a you problem.
Lesson learned.
Like, I don't know. Well, you know, and they're learning, and I get they're younger, so they got to figure that out. But it's like, it's a hard concept for them to grasp that, like, dude, just because like money don't grow on the back tree. Dad, when I run out, I just don't go pull it off the tree and stick it in my pocket.
Yeah.
Like, I got to go to work for it. Like, I'm over here for what I'm doing for club for them. Like, and I love watching them play and I don't mind it, but like, I'm working for it. So like when she lost her ankle brace, right? Like she left it in California.
Oh no, dude.
And you know, with the way things move fast, right? Because you got to get off the bench, you got to get to the next team. And I get it.
Oh, for some reason I thought when you said ankle brace, I was thinking of the boot she just got put in.
No. That's Allie's boot.
Oh, so
Allie's
not Lexi.
Lexi. So Lexi's she wears an ankle brace because she hurt her ankle in like April. So she left her brace. So she sends me an Amazon thing and says, hey, it's $30. Can you buy this? I was like, no, I didn't lose it. And she's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, I said, sweetie, I didn't lose it. I don't need an ankle brace. You have a job. You
need an ankle brace.
You need an ankle brace. And you know, and I was like, look, I'll split it with you half and half, like 15 and 15, but you have, and she's just like, fine, I get paid on Friday. Like, and she still owes me. Don't think I forgot Lexi, because she still owes me. But so she's, you know, they're learning that value of $1, and it's just, but these kids, dude, it's just different for them.
It is different.
But you know, you go back to your generational thing. It is kind of crazy when you talk about what they're wearing and stuff. It's very 90s.
Oh yeah. It's
very 90s.
Full
I haven't
90s.
seen any. What were those those $10 necklace things? Remember the shells?
Oh yeah,
dude.
No,
are they out? I haven't seen
to
those.
This, man. My son, 7 years old. We carpool. We're getting in the car. His buddy that's carpooling, also 7 years old. Puka shell necklace.
There you go.
And I look at him and I'm like, holy crap, dude. You're 7 and this is...
Dude, frosted tips. We're getting people Justin Timberlake's walking around here soon,
the amount of kids that buzz their head and then bleach their hair and then it grow out a little bit so it looks full. Like, dude, it's like,
that was a thing. A lot of baseball teams were doing that. Yeah.
It's one of those things where I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, I'm like, because I had the same opinion where I'm like, dude, these kids, man, why can't figure out their own thing? And then I started looking back on it. I'm like, you know, we all did this.
Yeah.
I mean, the only really original generations were probably the 60s, 70s, and 80s. After that, it's been recycling every 30 years. We're looking back at what was done then, and we're rehashing it in some way.
Yeah, and then when you try to wear the clothes that you wore then, the kids look at you like, why are you trying to be like us? I'm like, hold the phone, bro.
I will say this for me. I look at the clothes we wore in the 90s and say, we left those in the 90s for a reason.
Not me, bro. I'm taking my Jinkos.
I know you love your Jinkos, dude. For me, I thought everything we wore in the 90s was garbage. And I fully embrace the 2000s, dude. I'm still down that road. I'm like, that was where it was at, man. Big old fat skater shoes.
Oh.
Just nothing but walking on pillows. Most comfortable pair of shoes in the freaking world.
I don't ever wear those skate shoes that I
don't wear them anymore. I want to.
I just don't wear them I wear them with my Jinkos, and that's it. Like, I just don't. I probably should, but they're white DCs. They're nice shoes, man. Dude. But I'm like, you know what? I'll wear them next time I come over.
They're so comfortable, though. You know how comfortable they are.
I'm gonna wear them out,
dude. How thick the sides are.
Remember those things I told you I bought that I'm not telling my kids about?
Oh yes,
with my DCs, bro. That's
you look great, man. You look freaking great.
Yes. My kids are gonna be like, "What?" They're already gonna. And they hear this, they're already gonna ask, and I'm not telling them. It's gonna be awesome.
All right, man. Well, that nearly actually, you know what? That gets everything. I wrote everything down. Everything I wanted to talk about. I got it off my chest.
Yeah,
and you didn't write anything this week, so it's all on me.
I can't even focus on anything, bro. I literally don't do anything outside of eat, sleep, and work out.
Dude,
it's my life right now. I got
your
5
schedule.
weeks, 5 days left.
Dude, you've told me your schedule, and I want no part of that.
Yeah, you know.
Actually, it's funny. I kind of want part of it. So my father-in-law comes in over the other day, and I'm on the treadmill, and he and I were talking. He's like, "So you gonna do the JJ thing? You get hardcore about it?" And I'm like, you know, when he told me he weighs nearly what I weigh right now, I'm like, I probably need something close to that. At least like a crash 30 days. And then like do an elimination diet after that.
So I have my one of my real good buddies I work with. He's did fasting. He's done all these things, right?
Yeah, probably all the same things I've done.
Yeah, and it's not that like he's also 52, right? So bodies are a little different, right? So he's just trying all these things up with nothing. He can't seem to just lose it, or he can't stay consistent, and he doesn't have anybody holding him accountable. So I was like, bro, this was 2 weeks ago. I said, bro, I have 7 weeks from the show. 7 weeks. I said, why don't you just do what I'm doing? And I said, I will tailor. So I literally took my Excel spreadsheet, cut it all up. I used everything I have. I just cut the weights out, looked online. I did all this research to see what macros, and added it up, and I gave it to him. I said, here you go. Do this for 7 weeks. You get one cheat meal, one clean cheat meal. That's it. The rest is these meals every day. 7 weeks. See what happens. So I think he's
going to do it?
Yeah, he's doing it right now. He's in it. He's in it right now, and he's telling me he's never usually eaten in the morning. Goes to work out, so he's adjusting everything. But he's definitely starting to like understand a little bit more. But it's a process. Like
I am very tempted to do that, and not yet because we're going to the baseball game on Monday.
Well, no, and we're going to Maine. Wait till afterwards. It isn't worth, because that's only 5 weeks away. It wouldn't be enough. You're going to eat like crap in Maine. Like I'm going to eat a lobster like a mofo, bro.
But I also I don't want to go to Maine. Well, you know, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do it.
You can do something like, you can cut, dude, you can do the carnivore diet for the next 5 weeks, bro. Like
I know I won't do that. I know I will not.
Eggs and meat?
Dude, I will get sick of it. I will. I need something else.
How?
I know. It sounds crazy. I know that I will.
You know what? I think you know what the hack is in life? Low carb tortillas, bro. Have you seen these Mission tortillas that are low carb? They're 19 grams of carbs, but there's 17 grams of fiber in each one. Which I take a supplement for fiber because when you're on a really clean diet, it's really you don't have any waste.
Yeah.
So, and I only get 9 grams in that supplement, and there are 17 grams in this tortilla, bro.
So nearly double.
Yeah, and they have air fryer stuff that people make they get fat-free cheese, they get low sugar or no sugar tomato sauce, and turkey. Dude, you can make freaking pizza out of it. And it's low carb, high protein. Dude, those are a hack. I'm thinking, I already know what I'm going to do when I get out of this.
By the way, how's that? Was it twisted dough?
Bro.
We really gotta get the cameras. I gotta figure this crap out, dude. The way his shoulders, hands, everything just dropped.
So Twisted Dough, if you guys should check this out. So it is a healthy alternative to it's vegan friendly. It's gluten free.
Yeah.
It's all the little checkbox stuff. But the thing is, the macro counts on it's crazy for most of them, right? They run about like a couple tablespoons, I think, or is a tablespoon or 2 tablespoons of serving size. Maybe it's less than that, but it's basically you're getting 10 grams of protein to 1 or 2 grams of fat, which on a macro scale is huge. Mm-hmm. So, and they taste like, I had a brownie batter one and a peanut butter and jelly one. And dude, it is
a PB&J.
It's not, I get to understand, it's not a PB&J. So if you got to understand, it's still a protein shake type idea, but it's the consistency of frosting. And dude, at night, a little bit of that on a spoon. Over, bro. It just hits the sweet tooth and you're like, you don't feel guilty about it at all. You don't, and I know people who do this stuff and they'll have one of those every night. They'll just take a little thing, and they're in shows and they're like, dude, it cures my sweet tooth. And I know I'm getting way more protein than fat. So even if I'm doing half a tablespoon, right? It's like a 1 to 5 ratio at that point. Like I'll take the half gram of fat for the 6 grams of protein all day long. Cause protein heavy diets, what I'm learning is definitely good for your body, but it is tasty, bro. Like I just bought more. I bought a s'mores one. I can't wait for that to come in.
That's gotta sound great,
I can't wait for that to come in. And I got a chocolate factory whatever one, which is just chocolate chunks in it and stuff. I don't even like chocolate stuff, bro, but I have a sweet tooth like a mofo.
Oh, dude, I love chocolate stuff, man. Give me a solid brownie.
Lexi even likes it. My kid, but it's literally like you put it in the fridge and you get it. It comes warm because it's shipped. You stir it around. You put it in the fridge for a while, and then after a few hours, it's literally like opening up a can of that whipped frosting.
Yeah,
and it's just cold. And dude, it is something else, bro. Like, it is so good.
You know what? Let's end this on a positive note because I've never seen you happier in the last like 3 months.
Well, I have to. I'm starving. Like, I got to go home and eat eggs. And what do I have right now? Egg whites and a hard boiled egg is what I gotta go home and eat.
Well, that sounds exciting.
Yeah. Hey, listen, you want to drink egg whites, bro? Found a sugar-free, carb. It's 0 calorie chocolate syrup, bro. It is chocolate milk. I swear.
Oh yeah, you told me about this one.
This is 100% the truth. And I've got multiple people that have tried it and are like, dude, I can do this every day. And they do, no problem. Christy, the guy, my buddy, he's doing it and he just stirs it in his thing and it's chocolate milk. I swear it doesn't make any sense, but it's chocolate milk. And I drink 16 ounces of it a day.
Dude, that sounds like
actually
some. I was just stay fresh, you cheese bags. It's freaking amazing.
Like fat kids in dodgeball or eating chocolate milk. We're out.
I was gonna say, dude, I love that we always end up talking about the fat kids in dodgeball after we've talked about food.
Yes. The JJ and Pug Show theme song is written, composed, and performed by Lane Hartman. Thank you to Highland Communities for the support of our show. You can find the JJ and Pug Show on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and anywhere you listen to your podcast. Just Google us if you're confused. Remember to share the show with your friends and family. Subscribe wherever you listen. Buy a shirt, reach out to us, and place an order. Each shirt is $20, and if we can hand deliver it, we will, but if we have to ship it, it'll be $25. If you're able, feel free to support us by sending a donation to us by going to kfo.com/the JJ and Pug Show. That's ko-fi.com/the JJ and Pug Show. And thanks again to all who listen. We really appreciate your support for our show, and we hope to continue to grow.